It's a Sunday night in 1938 and your family rushes home. Your kid's complaining, "We're missing it. It's already 8:03. Get it turned on." You rush over to the radio, you get it dialed in, and the host's voice fills your living room. Except he's describing something terrible. He's talking to a reporter who's describing an invasion, and as he goes to describe what the invaders look like, the feed cuts dead. The host says, "Hello, hello, can you hear me?" And as you wait for a response, the power goes out. On October 30th, 1938, the Mercury Theater Live on Air decides to do a Halloween version of their show based on H.G. Wells' book, The War of the Worlds. The host of the show, Orson Welles, decides to use a breaking news format to describe this alien invasion to the American people. At the very beginning of the show, he does put out a disclaimer that the story is fictional, but many Americans miss this either due to turning in too late or flipping back and forth between other channels. At minute 32 of the production, one of the producers receives a call from an angry CBS executive demanding he kill the show, that there is chaos all over the United States because people think the production is real. As he goes back in, he realizes that the first break is 1 minute away, and at the end of the break, there's a jump in time, which should squash any confusion. At the end of the show, producers think they did the right thing until the phone rings and they find an angry Midwestern mayor demanding an explanation, saying that he has mobs in his streets. Police reports would later show that there was a 40% increase of calls during the show's broadcast, and newspapers would go on to describe mobs, chaos, and suicides across the country, and a power outage that happened simultaneously in Concrete, Washington would become international news. As the weeks go on, people start to realize that they didn't see any mobs in the street, they don't know about any suicides, and they really just don't know what anybody's talking about. So why did newspapers write upwards of 12,000 articles about this broadcast? Because they were threatened by the radio. In 1938, we see an uptick of nightly news broadcasts on the radio, and people are able to tune in every night to get an update from around the world. Just the month prior, the United States people were listening to the Munich crisis every single night, getting an update on the rise of tensions in Europe. Of the few people that were actually confused by the broadcast, they thought that Orson Welles was describing an invasion by the Germans, not an alien invasion. Newspapers sensationalized these stories in order to damn the nightly news, which they thought was a threat to their livelihood. A few years later, in an interview, Orson Welles is asked if he thought that the American people would have reacted the way that they did to the production. He said, "No, I thought they would be scared in the way that someone is scared when you jump out and yell boo. They're scared because you just screamed in their face, not because they actually think you're a ghost."